I played over 400 PlayStation games, and somehow I still have over 12,000 unearned trophies. My completion percentage? Still embarrassing. But today, this isn't just another cleanup episode, because buried deep in my backlog are 2 games I've never finished, 2 journeys I gave up on. I'm clearing up the backlog for Star Wars Jedi FAllen Order and Star Wars Jedi Survivor. From missed collectibles and combat challenges to the grindy, painful trophies that have me thinking, why did I start this up again? Welcome to episode 3, my attempt to restore balance to my backlog. Jedi Fallen Order follows Cal, a Jedi Padawan at the time of Order 66. It's been 5 years and he is now a scrapper hiding in plain sight on the industrial junk heap Braca. He's dismantling Star Destroyers from the war he barely survived. When a platform collapses, Cal reflexively uses the Force to save his friend Prof, but that puts him in some danger. The Empire doesn't miss a beat and the Inquisitors arrive. Prof tries to do the honourable thing, but Cal is forced to draw his lightsaber. After a narrow escape on a moving train, Cal is rescued by Ser Junda, a former Jedi, and Grease, a 4-armed pilot of the Mantis. They take Cal to Bogano, a grassy ancient world where we meet the real star of the game, BD-1. He carries the memories of Eno Cordova, a Jedi Master who hid a holocron containing a list of Force-sensitive children across the galaxy. The game from here takes you to hidden temples of long-lost Force users called the Zepho, all while being a thorn in the side of the Empire. The journey takes us to the wind-swept ruins of the Zepho, where Cal begins to recover his fractured connection to the Force. We learn Cal's trauma as a Padawan. He watched his master Jaro Tapal die during Order 66, and this guilt has damaged his bond with the Force. After that, we hit Kashyyyk. Cal teams up with a familiar face, the rebel leader Saw Gerrera, to free the Wookiee slaves. Here is the first trophy I pick up for defeating a bounty hunter. You have to take out one of each type. It seems as though I must have taken out all the other types in the first go-around. Amidst the chaos, he faces the Ninth Sister in a brutal duel on top of a massive dock-off tree. Cal wins, proving he is growing stronger, but the second sister is always one step ahead. Surviving this gets us the trophy. Her name was Masana Tai.
It's over.
Things get dark when Cal travels to Dathomir, home of the Night Sisters. Here he meets Merrin, who blames him for the Jedi massacre of her people. We also meet someone named Taron Malicos, a former Jedi, and we get the trophy for defeating this massive bat-looking thing, and that's called Gagora Falls. Now here's the real shocker. The second sister reveals that she is actually Trilla, Seer's former Padawan. She tells Cal that Seer gave her up under torture.
You were Trilla.
In the flesh?
I won't let you manipulate me.
So sure are you? When faced with the choice to protect herself or her Padawan, she chose self-interest.
This revelation sends Cal into a spiral, and after his lightsaber is destroyed in a vision with his old master, the only thing left to do is to try and fix it. Cal heads to Ilum to build a new saber. After a journey through the ice and a moment of pure Jedi clarity, you forge your own weapon, earning for a more civilized age. Oh, baby. There we go, for a more civilized age. Cal returns to Dathomir, defeats Malicos with Merrin's help, and officially joins forces with the Night Sister. Back on Bogano, Cal finally unlocks the vault, grabs the holocron, but Trilla is waiting. She steals the holocron and flees to the Fortress Inquisitorius on the moon of Nur. The only thing left to do is the Mantis crew needs to pull off a suicidal underwater breach of the fortress. Cal defeats Trilla in a final showdown. Seer tries to redeem her, and for a second, just that second, it works, until daddy of all Sith, Darth Vader, arrives. He executes Trilla and turns his attention to Cal. This isn't a boss fight we're going to win, it's a survival segment. After a narrow, watery escape, you learn the final trophy, Trust in the Force.
So where to now?
With the main story out of the way, it's time to tackle the rest of the trophies. Now, these can be split up into a couple of different sections. Combat, collectibles, and then what I dub just random trophies. Ones were the easiest to tackle. For example, Cal got your tongue, which is for slicing the tongue off one of those big frog things. Hey, there we go. We got one. First trophy of the night. Kick off for defeating an enemy with just kicks. Hey, there we go. Another one bites the dust. And can't touch this for using the precision evade on 100 attack. With those out of the way, we then go on to some of the ones I dub random. Full house for finding this little rabbit thing on Bogano and getting the trophy for filling out all the crew members. Okay, there we go. Feel the Force for unlocking all the Jedi skills that are available. And visiting Alderaan places for fully exploring a crashed Venator ship. Hey, another trophy. Then we get onto what is possibly the worst set of collectible trophies in PlayStation history. Helped by the fact this is probably the worst map of a game in PlayStation history. Green Thumb is for having a full terrarium. You get this by finding all 10 seeds on all of the different planets and letting the plants grow. This one I would advise getting as soon as possible, as you have to actually let the plants grow, so time needs to pass in order for the trophy to pop. Let's go.
Hey, kid. I've been meaning
Hey,
to
Green Thumb. Scanning all enemy types is another one that you need to sort of make sure you're paying attention to from the beginning. Thankfully, though, it's not too difficult, as soon as you defeat an enemy you haven't scanned, the prompt shows for you to do it. Collector for collecting all the chests and all the secrets, and not too bad when you get into a flow of finding them and seeing where they are.
That's how you do it.
Oh yeah, definitely do a Lego game next. Nothing wrong with a good Lego Platinum.
What'd you find?
Hey, there we go, Collector. But the two that are possibly hands down the most frustrating trophies I have come across, A Galaxy Far, Far Away is for fully exploring every map. So 100% searched every map. So finding secret areas, secret Force echoes, all the crates, all the collectibles that you can physically find. And again, the map does not help. And Zepho is a maze that you will definitely get lost in once or twice.
Always had time for a round of hollow chat.
You ever win?
We'd go back and forth. Our approaches were completely different. Just when you thought you
Hey, there we go. There's a trophy.
Surprise.
And last but not least, data disk for scanning all of the BD encrypted logs. These are notes left by Eno Cordova or items in the game. The problem is, you certainly need a guide because you can so easily walk past them and not even see the scan notification. Some of them you have to be stood in a certain way or looking at something in a certain way. And some are just in absolutely ridiculously awkward spots. Right, that has to be it. It is it. That's it. We're done.
Just as it did for the Zephyr.
Platinum complete. I think Respawn thought, how can we make gamers the most annoyed that they could possibly be once they've got the platinum? And with Fallen Order done, the platinum got, I took no time in going straight into Jedi Survivor, which was probably a mistake. That in Jedi Survivor, I had already done a good chunk. I've done 15 out of the 54 trophies available. But chat informed me that there is a missable trophy that I could have passed, which is if you've got a friend. Certain worlds and levels allow you to have a companion who can immobilize enemies, and directing him to do that 10 times will get you the trophy. So with starting the story again, we have to pick up 5 years since the events of Fallen Order. Cal Kestis is no longer just a Padawan on the run. He's a full-blown headache to the Empire. The story starts on a place I've always wanted to see in a sort of Empire era story, and that's Coruscant. It used to be the Jedi Temple, and it used to be the home of the Jedi. What does it look like now the Empire have took over? Cal and a new crew of rebels attempt to steal Imperial data for Saw Gerrera. The mission goes sideways, fast, and Cal's new friend, Bo Dakuna, is the only survivor as they barely escape the capital. With the Mantis badly damaged, Cal heads to a frontier planet named Kobo, where his old friend Grease Dritus has retired to, shall we say. While looking for parts, Cal falls into an ancient High Republic chamber and discovers a droid named Z. She carries a message from the past about a lost planet called Tanalorr.
Something's very wrong.
Is your name Z?
Yes, it is. How is it? Oh, no.
A world hidden behind a deadly nebula that could serve as a permanent refuge from the Empire. While exploring, Cal awakens Dagan Gera, a Jedi from the High Republic era who was kept in stasis for centuries. Dagan isn't the ally Cal thought he was awakening. He's obsessed with Tanalorr in an unhealthy way and instantly turns into the dark side in what is the first example of seeing this in action for me, bleeding his lightsaber to red.
Yes. It was my discovery, my home, and they just expected me to throw it away?
Dagan, wait.
I refused to obey and was betrayed by the one I trusted most. No, stop!
Cal realizes he needs help. He reunites with Merrin on Jeddah, where she's been helping Ser Junda build the Hidden Path, a secret network used to hide Force sensitives. The romance between Cal and Merrin finally starts to bloom as they fight side by side. So, Cal needs to find the Abyss Compass to navigate the Abyss to Tanalorr. Dagan Gera and his Bedlam Raiders are trying to do the same, and after several clashes, Cal and Bodhi finally confront, kill Dagan, securing the final compass. It's here we get the first of the story trophies, Tanalorr Abound. It's also at this point I was a little confused, as I knew that there was a ways to go before the end of the game, and Dagan's the main enemy, right? Maybe he isn't dead. Maybe there is some sort of bigger Sith Lord he was truly answering to and waiting for. Anyway, with the compass in hand, the crew gathers on Jeddah to plan their move to Tanalorr. It feels like a win until...
Hold him off as long as I... Bode?
Bode betrays the group. He's been an Imperial spy the whole time, trading Cal's location to the Empire to keep his daughter, Kata, safe. In the chaos, Vader arrives again on Jeddah in an epic battle reminiscent to me of Ahsoka in Rebels. Ser Junda is killed by Vader, but not before she nearly defeats him. Consumed by rage and grief, Cal tracks Bode to an Imperial base, and in what is such a cool segment of the game, he nearly loses himself to the dark side to survive. He discovers that Bode isn't just a spy, he's a former Jedi who survived Order 66. He escapes and heads to Tanalorr. We have to fight our way out of the base, and with that we get the trophy at the precipice. The crew, with the help of Z, find a way through the Abyss and follows Bode through to Tanalorr. And we make our way to the Jedi Temple, where we get to the heartbreaking conclusion. Cal tries to reason with Bodhi for the sake of his daughter, but Bodhi's paranoia is too deep, and Cal, unfortunately, is forced to kill him in front of his daughter. The game ends on a somber note. Cal, Merrin, Grease hold a funeral for Ser, Eno, and Bode. They decide to stay on Tanalorr and use it as a sanctuary for the Hidden Path, honouring Ser's legacy. And the last trophy, a place you call home, pops.
Well, it's not exactly what we expected. But this place is our home now.
Yeah, Grease.
With that story now complete, we start working on the rest. Similar to Jedi Fallen Order, there are some similar but easier trophies. Or, well, so I thought. We have it split again, so it's like combat, exploration, collectibles, and then just randoms. Some of the combat ones are map specific, such as this is cannon for force pushing an enemy into the Kobo cannon. And then we have some of the more traditional ones. Force push rollers into 3 enemy mines. And on top of that, there are more force powers added to the game as a way of showing Carl's increase in strength. Get down from there is for attacking 20 force-lifted enemies. And then Slam Dunk is for force slamming 5 enemies at once. There we go. Jedi Survivor also brings in some new lightsaber forms. One of them being a pistol, and the trophy So Uncivilized is for using a pistol skill, point blank, which is essentially the counter of that build. And then you've got a crossguard saber a la Kylo Ren. And this is the heavy build saber, slow, hard hitting. And one of the moves that comes with that is a drop kick while wearing a mullet. Oh, there we go. Just took a second to kick in. Just about to say, what the hell? Yes, you heard that, a mullet. One of the best additions to this game is the character customization. Outfits, hairstyles, beards. I gave my Cal a homeless hipster hobo vibe. He's kind of giving off that homeless hipster look. And what finished his outfit off was the signature poncho, which you will have to find and get the trophy, a present I've not felt. There we go. Then we just have some random usual trophies. I think they made them because someone likes a pun. The trophy we have for Cobra Cal is for putting a headband on and fighting a dummy in Jeddah. Top of the world for reaching the highest part of Harvest Ridge in Kobo. Trophy with a bit of luck. There we go. And then, hey, Luke at us for changing every item of clothing to something new. And then we get to the collectibles. Now, when I looked at and saw that you don't need to fully 100% everything like Fallen Order and clear every map and find everything, I thought this was going to be okay. But this game has a whole new level of hell I genuinely was not expecting. You have the more basic ones like max capacity for filling the cantina, which is simple enough. You talk to and help all the NPCs on the maps, and they're quite hard to miss if you're following the story. They're always within your path. Scuba diving is for finding fish, which is similar to the seeds in Fallen Order. You come across this little fish thing, and he captures fish for you all across the planet. And then you've got Growth Spurt for finding 10 seeds, which is similar, but this time it's easier. There isn't just one area that they're in. There are multiple places, multiple different variants, and like Fallen Order, you just need to plant one of each in the garden section and let it grow. Then we have the BD scans, but unlike Fallen Order, you only need to scan enemies this time. And then we have the BD scans, but unlike Fallen Order, you don't need to scan everything. You only need to scan the enemies. Just steals a gun. There we go. Should be another one. There we go. And this time, they have a function. You come across 2 people you rescue, and they are making the holo tactic games you see like in the original movie on the desk. And each enemy you scan is a piece that you can use in the game. And the more people you fill with the cantina, you can go up against each of them in battle, and defeating them all will get you the trophy Gambler.
What an engrossing...
Then we get into the hell that is the last trophies. Partly of my own making for not paying attention to them while I was doing the story. Blood, Sweat and Tears is for completing all of the different force tiers. Now, on the surface, I thought this was going to be easy and fine. They were all combat related that I walked into. Until I reached the zipline ones, and safe to say, these tested my patience. No! What the... There we go. Yeah, I know. Oh. Okay, so the floor just disintegrates. Yeah, yeah. Thankfully, there isn't too many of them, and we eventually got that done. Oh, and we're done. Oh, and it's the last one. Thank God for that. Then, perks of the job is fulfilling all the perk slots. But it's not made clear where they are. The ones I couldn't find were related to puzzles on Jedi, and it's also never made clear that that part of the map is a puzzle that you need to complete. And then the mother of all trophies, Spurgle. One of the collectibles is something called the Priorite Shard, and there is 100 of them, and they are in some weird and wonderful spots. The majority of them are on Kobo, but Kobo is more of a maze and more annoying than Zepho, and I never thought I would say that. I could handle doing a bunch of jumps into getting every nook and cranny on the map, but the last one takes the cake. There are these things called Nekos, and they are animals that you can ride around the map because it's so big. You need to put one in a stable and make it go to the toilet. But not just any Neko. The Nekos come in a variety of colours, and you need to find one of 3 or 4 different of the rare colours. And apparently, if you rest at Pyloon's Saloon, one will spawn pretty quickly. But not for me. Rest after rest after rest after rest. No bright colours. And just as I was about to give up... Yes! Thank God! Let's go! Let's go! Once we have that, we go to Doma's shop, buy everything for Spurgle, and there we go, we've got the platinum.
All sales.
Yes! That beautiful, beautiful sound. Oh, thank God that is over. There we have it. Jedi Survivor Platinum done. 54 out of 54. We've got 113 trophies. Let's go. And I can do something I've been waiting to do for a while. Something I've been wanting to do for at least a week. Bye. See you later. 2 platinums, 2 games off the backlog, and yet, looking at the numbers, I barely moved the needle. We managed to push the completion percentage to 40.5%, but the mountain is still steep for that 75%. If you've ever lost your mind looking for one of those rare-coloured Nekos or that cursed fort zipline missions, let me know your horror stories in the comments. I need to know I'm not alone in this madness. We're one step closer to that 75% that we need. I'll see you in episode 4 where we tackle